I struggle to rest. And you clicked on a video about rest, so I think you might too. And today we're going to talk about what are the deep-seated beliefs that we fall into, why we struggle to rest, and more importantly, how we can get off that merry-go-round, because it's exhausting. I didn't realize how bad my inability to rest was until I got married. And I noticed that when my wife was doing things, I would have to go do them with her. So if she was doing the dishes, I would go do the dishes with her. And there was this inner desire, inner need. Have you noticed that? That you might have this drive to keep moving and going and not really knowing where it came from? What I've come to believe is we struggle with rest because we aren't really believing what the gospel says. Jesus said that he died to give us life and a life overflowing. It says in John 10:10, but that Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And I believe that we have these deep-rooted beliefs that are contrary to the gospel. That act of believing the good news here, but maybe it's not hitting here. See, I think we struggle to rest because we're trying to do things that only God can do. And they can be a little different for each one of us. You may struggle with control or that need to be there for others, a good thing, but overemphasized. Or needing to know the answer, that you're always studying. You got to know everything about everything, or else you feel unsettled. Or that everyone needs to like you. Or maybe for you, it's perfection. See, all of these things, needing to control everything, needing to know all the answers, these are overemphasized. These are above human size. And the only thing that I know that can be above human size is God. So in essence, our inability to rest, I think when we really look at it, is when we're trying to be more like God, be this perfected being that you and I aren't. I mean, that's what the gospel says. It starts with, we know we are fallible. We know we have sinned and fallen short, right? But then we try to live our whole lives trying to get it done. And for me, it's I need to be liked. And so my wife will be doing dishes or doing things in service for me, and I can't rest. I got to sit and I got to do things because, unfortunately, sometimes underneath there, I fall into the trap, the lie, that I'm only good if I'm doing something for others, that I'm of no value unless I'm helping them. Maybe one of these things has resonated with you, that is your root that's in there. Because we're not all the same, but I do think it all centers around those. And again, I think these things are amplified in our society. So they end up being amplified in social media. Have you ever been on social media and all of a sudden, after looking at it for a while, you have this need to be more, do more, have more. All of a sudden, it's more, 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 this insatiable appetite that leads us to not resting. So how do we overcome this? This might sound silly, but it's to do things afraid. For me, like I said, for others to do things for me and me not participating in it, it's a scary thing. It's a vulnerable place. So there's these things called brave practice. And what a brave practice is you take something that you're afraid of, needing to be in control, if that's for you. You'd be putting yourself in a minor situation where you aren't in control, where you are submitting to someone else that is in control. And you don't need to go into some huge place. These are small micro practice called brave practice. And in essence, over time, what you are is you're building a new pathway to show that, hey, I'm okay. It's going to be okay. So in my house, one of the things I do to work on rest is that there will be times where my wife will serve me and she'll say, I want you to sit over there. I don't want you to do anything. And for me, that's a brave practice. It's a scary thing. But guess what? On the other side, I feel more loved. See, when we're really trying to protect, when we're believing those false beliefs, we're actually stopping others from loving us. And maybe in a way, we're hardening our heart to feeling the love of God. And so these brave practices, find out which core element that you struggle with. Control, perfection, needing to know the answer, needing to be there for others, or needing to be liked. And do a small brave practice to where you put yourself in a situation where you can't meet that. And this is it's called exposure therapy. You are exposing yourself to the other side, and what you're going to see is that others will love you, and the love of God will be there also. See, in these moments where we're believing these false beliefs, we aren't going to be fully hearing God because we're listening to a different voice. And to grow in that hearing of God, instead of those 5 needs that we really don't need, that we think we need, one way that we can help overcome them is by hearing God's voice. So if you're struggling with hearing God's voice and you're believing one of these things, watch this video right here. It'll really help you to hear God's voice louder than the false belief underneath the surface. Have a great day, and God bless you.